She returned to the area where she had first discovered the coconut trees the previous day. This time, the journey didn't drain her like before. Her increased stats were clearly making a difference. As she moved deeper into the forest, she began noticing fruit-bearing plants scattered between the thick trunks. The trees here stood closer together, their canopies heavier and more intertwined than in the outer regions. The fruits were noticeably larger, too, an indication of richer soil or perhaps a hidden water source nearby. She crouched and examined the ground. It was slightly damp. That small detail sparked hope. Following the faint moisture in the soil, she pushed onward, carefully tracking the direction of possible water. Yet even after hours of searching, she found nothing. By the time the sun began to set, she had no choice but to stop. She clicked her tongue in frustration. "I'll have to stay here for the night." She climbed a massive tree nearby and settled onto one of its thick branches. With practiced movements, she used vines to secure herself tightly to the trunk. Once stable, she ate a few fruits to restore her energy. Night in the forest was anything but peaceful. As darkness spread, the atmosphere shifted completely. Distant howls echoed from unseen directions. Low, guttural growls drifted between the trees. Occasionally, faint red eyes flickered from the bushes below. Every sound made her muscles tighten instinctively. The pink guide ball had warned her before. Deeper into the forest, the nights became far more dangerous. Even so, exhaustion slowly overtook her fear, and she drifted into sleep. Elsewhere, the other players were struggling to survive the night as well. After sunset, many of them quickly climbed trees upon receiving warnings from their guides. On one side of the forest, a blonde-haired man trembled as he gripped a branch tightly. "Bro, I saw a huge beast earlier," he whispered, his voice shaking. It was completely black, and its teeth were enormous. "What if it climbs up here?" "It won't," the black-haired man beside him replied calmly. He explained that he had scattered crushed medicinal herbs around their position to mask their scent. As long as they stayed silent, most creatures would avoid approaching them. Hearing this, the blonde slowly began to relax. To him, the black-haired man felt strangely dependable. Earlier that day, the man had even managed to locate a lake before sunset. "Bro, what did you used to do before coming here?" the blonde asked quietly. The black-haired man did not answer. Instead, he raised a finger, signaling for silence. The blonde obeyed, falling quiet. At least for now, he felt safe. The rewards they had received made survival slightly easier. They no longer had to carry heavy supplies everywhere, and the backpacks they were given upon arrival were already beginning to wear out. The next morning, when Venus woke up, the forest felt unusually calm. No beasts lingered nearby, only the soft sound of birds breaking the silence. "This place is strange," she thought cautiously. She resumed her search, cutting through thick vines and forcing her way through dense bushes. After a long and exhausting effort, she finally discovered a hidden water source deeper within the forest. Relief washed over her, but she did not immediately drink. Even if the water looked clean, she knew better than to trust it blindly. At that moment, the pink guide ball appeared again. "Congratulations," it said. Then it continued. "You may begin your next mission now or later." A brief pause followed. "One more thing. The previous shelter is no longer safe." After a moment of silence, Venus made her decision. "I'll start the next mission." The guide ball responded instantly. "This time, it is a multi-part mission. 5 tasks must be completed within 4 days. Filter water, make fire, hunt live food, cook and eat food, and finally, find a new shelter." Rewards were 30 SP, 2 containers, 2 fire starters, and 2 sets of clothes. Venus wasn't even sure she could start a fire yet. Just thinking about it already felt overwhelming. After a moment, she opened her status window and allocated her points. +10, strength +5, agility +5, mental updated stats. Strength 21, agility 17, endurance 5, mental 13. She exhaled slowly. She could feel herself getting a little stronger. Over the next few days, she kept experimenting. Even when she failed, she adjusted and tried again until it worked. She collected water in coconut shells and filtered it with cloth. Fishing became easier with her improved agility. She stored the catch in her subspace, then moved deeper into the forest and rested in higher tree branches for safety. To make fire, she rubbed wood together. It was still difficult, but noticeably easier than before. Once the fire stabilized, she cooked quickly, packed up, and moved immediately to avoid danger. She repeated this cycle every day, careful, steady survival. By the final evening, she reached the new shelter high up in a tree. It wasn't a major upgrade, but it had a small lamp, enough to push back the darkness. For the first time, she truly rested. The other players were also doing well, some even saying the missions were easier than expected. The final mission no longer seemed impossible, but the next day, everything changed. A new chain mission appeared. Final beginner-level chain mission, 7 days. Survive 2 days without food, survive 1 day without water, defeat a level 2 night beast. Venus froze. What? She reread it, her expression tightening. A level 2 night beast. This was no longer simple survival. A bead of sweat dripped down her face. The forest didn't respond to her silence. It responded to something else. From beneath the shelter, low growls erupted.